Did you guys feel like it was time for you to reunite finally after all those years of making us Glee fans wait?
That's like Darren woke up every morning and he was like, "Dear God, just
Sweet
let
Jesus.
me. I want to see Leah every day
Yeah.
for the next." No, I mean we obviously met during Glee and remained friends after
And
that.
it hasn't been that long since the show has ended. If anything, we've been keeping pretty busy. So this is actually the first window of opportunity we've had to do
Yeah.
something like this. So
But we always sang together at like benefits and charity events and really loved performing together. And I went on tour last year and it's an awesome thing, but it can be quite isolating and it's pretty lonely sometimes going from place to
Yeah.
place. So when I came back, I was like, I'd really love to do that again. And I would think that Darren would be like the most fun person. So I was like, do you want to do this? And we were able to work it out.
yeah.
And this is our second leg. We did East Coast, Middle America a couple of
Yeah.
weeks
Sort
or
of
months
Midwest,
ago.
yeah.
Midwest.
And then you guys kick it back up in Vegas. But from that East Coast tour, what have you guys learned about each other? Because you learn a lot about the person when you're on tour with them.
oh, nothing that I didn't already
Yeah,
know.
I already know. I know a lot about it.
Yeah, I mean they're all good things. I mean it's always nice to see just how talented your pal is. It's fun to be experiencing this thing, like Leah said, together. So there are a lot of things that I think it's almost less about the performance itself, but the whole tour is as a whole, which includes meeting a lot of fans and seeing both Leah and I get to meet a lot of these kids that and families that we've kind of been a part of for so long via the show or via whatever other vehicles we've driven in the past however many years. It's a really nice thing for me to see these kids look at Leah and just be so excited. And for me to witness that in the room is like, I guess it's not really learning anything. It's just sort of an affirmation of like what we're doing is really special. And it's less
Yeah.
about us or our ego and more about being able to celebrate something bigger than ourselves with these folks that have allowed us
Because
to be
we
here.
loved our experience on Glee. Like, we really did.
Yeah.
We look back on it, and, it was an incredible, like, what we did on that show was beyond. But we really love that. And what we do with our show is obviously songs from, our albums and from Broadway. But we really have this, moment where we really kind of reminisce about that amazing experience that we both got to share together.
Yeah.
Oh, so we are getting a little Glee nostalgia
Oh,
on this tour.
yes, of course.
Special ass you are. What are you,
Of course.
crazy?
Yes,
Of course.
I love it.
And we tell like stories too about what that day like was on set, and so it's a nice little glimpse into what life on Glee was like for the both of us. And there are so many people, like it's unbelievable to see the audience that comes out to see our show. Like it's the widest age range, because the people that were like watched Glee then still watch it, but especially like the younger generation who was too young to watch Glee when it was on is now old enough. So you have these young kids that are coming in and they're like, we love you. And I'm like, oh my God, when
And it's
Glee
brand
was
new
on
to them.
TV.
Yeah.
And it's brand new to them, which is awesome.
That's amazing. Now, when you guys, like, you hear in Hollywood all the time when kids or young adults are on these shows that are so big, it's hard to escape the Glee moment. But you guys have transcended past that. New music with the Emmy. How hard was that journey for you guys to break out of Rachel and Blaine?
Well, first of all, I feel very lucky because I maybe this is just my sort of crazy way of looking at the world, but I never really felt like Glee was a thing that trapped us or put us in a box. I felt like it was such a huge
But people would look at
springboard.
you and be like, that's Blaine.
I never really felt that way. I mean,
Well,
maybe
they
if
were.
they did, then but I guess because I never felt that truly, I never did. I didn't feel like this sort of like
Because he couldn't
crawling.
be more polar opposite from his character, I think, also.
Yeah, like I created a character for that role. But what I guess what I'm saying is that for me, there was a lot of, like, by the time I joined the show, I was like working with Broadway's Lea Michele. Like there were so many things that you had done that, like Lee was a cool little like stopping point that, garnered a lot of attention. So for me, watching you go from other stuff wasn't like, oh my God, she's getting out of the Glee thing. It was like, she's carrying on with being awesome. So, but maybe that's my own delusional way of looking at the world. But
Well, I'll say that I think that the both of us truly have Ryan Murphy to thank, not only for the great roles that we played on Glee, but for helping us transition, because it is something, whether or not we personally feel that way, I think a lot of people in the world, when you do play these iconic characters, it is hard sometimes to not, to be able to move on after that. But Ryan created 2 roles for the both of us. I did Scream Queens. I played a psycho killer, and he also played a psycho killer, except he has an Emmy to prove his good work. But Ryan really helped us, or just even me as an actor, to kind of like stretch another muscle that I hadn't gotten to stretch while playing Rachel Berry for so long. So
Yeah.
whether it was to show the world something different, he at least helped me personally get to do something different right away and like right out of the gate.
Yeah.
So I think that we both have Ryan to thank a lot.